Hey everybody, Dr. Dion here. Today we're going to go over how to get a frontside tube. I stress frontside. I'm not going to show any backside tube riding in here. Frontside for me is going left because I'm a goofy foot. If you're a regular foot, just flip it. It's going right for you, but the same principles apply. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with some footage from me from 2020, Hurricane Paulette. First thing I want you to notice is that my eyes are looking way down the line. There's Farmy. Hi, Farmy. I'm coaching her this day, and I do want her to succeed, but I think I want this wave a little bit more. I'm like, yeah, I got it. Okay, so right here, I just break this 1/3 of the lip line. Watch this part. Push up, clearing the hips. Again, you're not seeing my knees. I know a lot of people commented on the video that it is a cobra, but guess what? On a short board, you just can't see what's happening on the back of the board. So it may appear like a cobra, it's not. Because I have all of that hip clearance right there. Eyes are still staying really focused. I'm seeing way far down the line. Feet hit. Feet are on the board, and this left hand going right in. Eyes are staying up. Just trying to get my footing at this point. All right, so let's see what happens here. I'm looking up. The wave is starting to pitch, so to a lot of people, this might look like a closeout, but you just have to trust it. And I'm just gonna sit my butt down. It's pretty small. Back foot is planted, front foot is planted. I'm leaning over at the waist a little, but having the butt just go down that little bit right there is crucial. So the butt's gonna just go down just a little bit. And I'm just gonna hold that position all the way through. At this point, there's a little chandelier inside the tube and it feels like I'm gonna wipe out in there. But you just hold on, hold that line, stay holding on, and the thing will open back up again. So it opened back up again for me. And here you can see that somewhere in that chandelier, in order to like stay extra stable, I got my butt down even lower over my back foot so that when I'm exiting the tube, I'm super low. And if you can just hold this posture right here, you're pretty good. Butt's low. And the majority of my weight, you can even see if you look at this foot right here, it's like my weight is like back. So I'm not pressing too far forward, because if I press on this rail right here, the likelihood that I'm gonna like fly off the front of my board is super high. And you don't want that to happen because you want to make it out of the tube. So you have to remember that it's your fins that are stabilizing you in the tube in any wave, really. And you want to have some like positive pressure over the back of the surfboard so that you can just glide right on out of there. All right, let's look at some other tubes just because we like looking at tubes too. They're exciting. This had a little backwash in it. I'm gonna top it off with a little cutback. That always feels fun. And kick out. All right. Okay, next one. Same principle here at the takeoff. Eyes high and down the line. Always that, just breaking this first 1/3 of the wave. There's the non-cobra clearance of my hips off of the board. This isn't a 2-stage pop-up. I'm gonna double down on this because there's so many comments in the no cobra video, but we all clear our hips. Again, on short boards, it might be so infinitesimal that you don't notice it. It's not a 2-stage pop-up. It is what I call in another video the millisecond push-up. so that you get right to those feet. Eyes are high. This is the key ingredient. The eyes gotta stay high. And then boom. This again, I'm just gonna go over this again and again because a tube is a very simple thing at the end of the day. You're just making the drop and drawing a line straight through the wave. But people just get so excited by what's happening. There are a million ways it can go wrong. And a lot of it is over froth and over excitement to get out of the tube, putting too much pressure on that front foot, biting the front rail and face flopping. You want to avoid doing that, and you do that by lowering your butt over your back foot. Now, let's just see that. Watch my butt here. I am bent at the waist, okay? I am bent at the waist. There's a small moment when I'm bent at the waist. But boom, see that right there? I'm gonna put this in super duper slow motion for you. Watch my butt. Boom, drops. Boom, drop the booty. Drop the booty, and what do you see again here? Same thing as before. That front foot is kind of shifted back, so my weight shifted back over the fins. So I stay in that center line of the wave. If you're too far down here, the lip's gonna nail you in the head. If you're too far up here, the lip's gonna take your head and send you over the falls. And you don't want that to happen. You wanna get in the tube, you wanna get out of the tube. So here, it's just all about holding that low form. Holding, 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 and coming out. Again, look how compressed I am by the end of this tube. So tubes, sometimes they grow bigger, but they have a tendency, especially in beach break, to like get a little bit smaller as you exit the hole. And you want to just, be as compressed as possible as it gets smaller. And also, if you're like down on your board like this, the wave, whatever weird things are gonna happen, it's more likely that if you're down in that little ball, there's nothing that's gonna catch you and send you off the surfboard. So it's really important just to see that you stay compressed. Don't get too excited to come out or to jump out of the tube. Just stay over that surfboard, down, positive pressure, hands like this, and you will whoosh, exit the hole. All right. Tube to cut back, always a nice little way to do stuff. And I think, oh yeah, got a little bonus bang on that one. All right, here's another tube. Fast forward, I'm actually way fitter. This is a super ledging wave, as you can see. This is a gnarlier wave than those other two. Those other two were relatively easy takeoffs. We don't have the full takeoff of this wave. MG just barely got this part, but at some point I made the space. This wave looked like a closeout, so this is a big tip. Sometimes you have to go on waves that look like closeouts to get the super deep tube. Over my back foot, just barely make this drop. Fins catch. All right, so now you're seeing the curvature of the wave. Let's just clear that. Put it in 1/4. And the video's ruined, and I have to do it all over again. Thanks, PETA. Awesome. Maybe not. You like the barking sound? PETA, come back. Go back on the couch. Go on. Go on. All right. It's going to be the same principle, though. My body is extended here, and then I'm going to just sit down over my butt. Boom. Again, so it's the same principle. You might be a little extended, a little bent over at the waist, but then you just have to tuck it all up, drop that butt, drop the butt, and hold the line. Stay compressed. Stay compressed. Keep your eyes up. Huge. Keep your eyes up. Don't close your eyes. Don't freak out in there. Just keep threading the needle. Keep your eyes up. This is not even like advanced tube riding. This is just holding the line. Maybe I could have done one pump up to make a little bit cleaner out of this one. And so that's getting into that next stage of tube riding. Like if I would have done one pump higher to get like here, I might have had a little bit of a cleaner exit. Because I come out, you know, I came out down here as opposed to coming out right here. So that could have been just, I could have squeezed out like a half a second more of tube time right there. All right, next tube. All right, different angle here. Got a bunch of different angles for you. Okay, once again, not doing a cobra. And this is a steep ass wave. Look at me. My hips are completely cleared. My hips are not on the surfboard. I'm gonna double, triple, quadruple down on this, people. If my hips were down on the board, this would not work. I just get them up slightly, millisecond. We're talking infinitesimal. I have it paused here. Maybe it looks like a long time, but it's not a long time. I just gotta get one tiny little clearance, and then the feet are just gonna come up because this is a steep wave. Boom, onto the feet, right? Onto the feet. The wave kind of stretches out. Again, I'm looking high, looks like a closeout. All you can do is pull into these things. I also want to say that this is a wave that is from the session of my video that's about shopping for waves. And some people commented that I wussed out or whatever, and I showed this wave on my Instagram to them. Yeah, these are the waves I was looking for. So when I'm not going for a wave, it's because this is the one that I'm looking for. So why do you shop for waves? Bonus, because there are better ones out there to get. So that's why you would give away a perfectly good wave and not over froth, is because you want to get the super sick one. Session maker, year maker. All right, let's watch this one in slow motion. Butt goes down, all right? So you see that very clearly once again. I'm not on the back of the board though. There would be, the reason why I'm more in the middle of the board is because you want to go fast through the tube. So any too much pressure over the fins inside the tube is going to create drag. The only reason you'd want to do that is if you needed to slow down to get more tube time. All the tubes I've shown in this video so far are pretty, you know, standard fast tubes, so no need to stall or slow down in these things. And again, if we're just gonna reiterate this principle, even if you're stretched out, you gotta come compress. You gotta just drop that booty. I think that's maybe the huge takeaway. Drop that booty. And these are the kind you want. Like, if you're watching from the beach, where did I go, right? These are the ones completely disappeared. In there, in there, in there. Actually spit right there. That was a really cool feeling. Right there, it spit. You could see the little puff. Not a huge spit, but for me, inside, it was actually, you could super feel it. Right here, I feel that now when I see the video again, I maybe could have stayed in longer and come out right here. Maybe. It's hard to say. It also could have crunched me, so I'm just happy I made it. It was a very cool tube, honestly. And I did claim it because look at that section. Boom. And again, you just got to drop that booty. You just got to drop it, weight over that back foot so that you do not fly forward. You don't want to do that. Again, there is pumping. Pumping is a real thing that I will discuss at some later date, but right now we're just talking about the basic tube ride, taking off on the kind of wave that's gonna pitch, having the composure to just hold the line, thread the line, keep your eyes up, drop the booty, thread the line. And if you get a tube like that, you can claim it. And last, we'll go through some GoPro footage. This part was funny because a guy was actually, you see my mouth moving? Is actually because somebody, I'm like, no, no, no. This guy, he's really nice, but I'm like, dude, please not. This was the one wave I got this morning that was good. You can see here too how high my eyes are looking up, right? And I'm already in that compressed stance. My knees are up by my chest. This hand is just like skimming the wave, and my front hand's obviously holding the GoPro. And then I do a little turn and then just drop that booty again. You can see it. I did a little stall to get into this one. What's interesting and unconscious is the way that I breathe inside the tube. You're not going to know that you do that until you get like sick GoPro footage of yourself inside the tube. But I clearly do strange breathings where I puff out my chest and like blow air out while I'm in the tube. Interesting, just to note. This one I'm pumping a little, so you can see the knees coming up, and look at how close my knees are right here under my chest while my butt is low. So that's a posture you can practice at home, you know, just having your knees underneath you, like underneath your shoulders with your shoulders open, and just sitting your butt down, having a little bit of weight a little bit back. That thing was square too. I wish you could see it from my angle. I was so stoked on that one. And a couple more just for you to see. That butt goes down again here. Nice long ride. You know, maybe let's take a look at that back hand too. Nice open shoulders. And a lot when I talk about, you know, surfing squared off, this is what I mean. This is the square right here, having the shoulders open to the wave, have my hand in the wall, eyes really high. I'm never gonna stop talking about how high you need to have your eyes and how far down the line you need to have your eyes for all advanced surfing, really, from the takeoff through the rest of the ride. And yeah, fully covered, no water touching me here. Doing the tube orgasm face as we do. There it's flaring on me. Butt is just staying low, right? Look at the curvature of my back and my body right here. Chest is still open, arm is still back. This is a posture you can practice in your room. Just go into your mirror, go get in this posture, whatever your stance is. And you know what? You're gonna find very interesting things about your particular hip, knee, and ankle flexibility here. And you might find you have very inflexible ankles. You're gonna have like different ways of crouching if that's the case. You might not be able to get that low if you have inflexible ankles or knees or hips. But with the right training in mobility and strength, you can probably improve those things just a little bit or a lot, depending on where you're at. Also, if your diet is not on point and you have excess inflammation, believe it or not, like that's a way in which diet could help tube riding, is that if you lower your inflammation in your joints, previously stiff joints might be able to become more flexible so that you can drop your butt and keep your knees up like this and actually absorb the shocks of like sometimes tubes can be turbulent. Like you can see the turbulence here on this one. Look at how much my knees are shaking. It's crazy. Just handle it, and then next tube. This one I do a full bottom turn. And again, let's triple, quadruple down. Eyes are way high, way high. And I sit way low. Eyes are high. And it just lets me out. This one I came out the doggy door and did that little, felt good. And the last tube for you, new view of what it might look like. So you're looking down the line. This one's actually really sick because you can see the way the wave This is the line. I'm looking down here, noticing for this lip. So the whole point is to get your body into this midline and sit down so that this throws over you. Right? So there it's done the thing. Through over. And you can see here the steepness of the wall and how you will, like I'm definitely gonna make it out because the wave's throwing over me here, but you wanna focus on this small bit down the line. You can see I'm focused down there. I mean, you could look up, you could look back, you could get a lot of different views as long as your line is set. But for the surfer who hasn't, for the surfer who hasn't gotten tubed yet, you know, you really want to look far down there so you could just set that line, set that stance. And this one is eventually going to close out, right? So it just lets me out enough here. And the straighten out is not that hard. Right when you see it closing out, you just veer. You just veer towards the shore. Not a big deal. Just in and just veer. Stand up, absorb the power, and then just let the wave take you. And so that's it. That is the end of the tube video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about how to know which wave to pick, I didn't show kind of the wave judgment there, but I will say here at the end that I kind of know the wave is going to tube well before I take off. There's a way to see that it is building up in such a way that it will throw over itself and pull up. I call it pulling up water. Like you can see here in this image, you can see the way the water is being pulled up off the sandbar. And for a lot of people, this is a very scary proposition, which is why you don't want to look down. You notice in none of this am I looking down, or if I had a moment where I got pulled upside down or vertical, like my body's going up like this, but you got to keep the eyes up so that it like clicks you back into place. So again, you may need to look down a little bit, but then you want the eyes to come back up to set the line, sit back down over that back foot, hold the line. Just hold. Work on pumping and stuff later, but for now, find that center line. Don't freak out. Don't jump off your surfboard. Touch the wall with your back hand. Put your front hand out forward so it can guide you out of the tube. Practice this stance at home. Please do not do this at the beach. You will look like a ding dong and everybody will make fun of you. And if you can handle that psychologically, great. Maybe try it at the beach, but surfers can be harsh, as you can see in my comment sections. And so, I don't know. It's hard for me to even read the harsh comments. I wouldn't want to be called a kook at the beach. Still, can't stop it from happening, but you can practice these stances at home to avoid that potentially happening at the beach. That's also why I say you should stretch at the beach. Don't stretch at the beach. Stretch at home. I'm going to have a funny video about that. And yeah, okay. That does it for this tube video. And happy tubing. Let me know if you get tubed trying this out. I'd love to see some comments that this helped people actually thread the line and get their first, second, third, fourth, and maybe rode the tube better. Maybe you're getting pocket rides and not quite getting all the way in the tube. But hopefully this helped you get deeper tubes and hold your line, make it out of those. All right. Like and subscribe. Thanks, guys and gals.